Now on Coast TV News.
Ballot battle brewing.
The voters want their own property rights.
Why Ocean City could see a referendum over the short-term rental controversy. What is taking place today in the town.
Transit talks today, the potential changes to DART's bus system and how Delawareans can have a voice in those discussions.
We are all above the freezing mark this Wednesday morning as the thaw continues. A pleasant breezy day awaits and the latest on a late weekend storm threat.
And Lewis Forest's future, the possible upgrades that would allow for more outdoor activities at the city's 4th Street Preserve.
This is Coast TV News Today.
And we are now taking a live look into Ocean City. This is near the Isle of White Bay. You can see several mobile homes on your screen on the right side, and those are the type of homes that are part of a big debate that we continue to cover. It is Wednesday, February 11th, 2026. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
Good morning, Matt. I'm Grace Eckerly. Thank you for being up with us during this 5 o'clock hour.
A very different temperature feel in the early morning hours today, though we still saw some ice in that live shot on the waterways there.
That is true. It was kind of pleasant waking up this morning,
it.
walking out to the car, and it's like, oh, this feels nice. We didn't quite hit the 50 mark or just earlier this morning.
It did give me spring vibes, though.
It did, and I know that makes you very excited.
Yeah,
so
a little happiness.
I have a lot of gratitude for First Alert Meteorologist Chris Mastrobono this morning for this nice, warm temperate that we had today.
Good morning, Grace and Matt. Yeah, what a difference a few days make, right? We had temperatures in the single digits and teens, and this is all thanks to a warm front that pushed through the region overnight. Look at the temperature right now in Ocean City, 49 degrees, the dew point 39, and look, we're running about 15 to nearly 25 degrees warmer than where we were just 24 hours ago. Now, temperatures, quite a contrast. We're at 40 in Milford, 36 in Harrington. We're at 47 Indian River Inlet, but 49 in Ocean City. Now, we're going to drop a few degrees here through at least sunrise, and then we're going to rise back up into the mid to upper 40s. You can see the wind flow out of the northwest anywhere between about 5 to 16 miles an hour. We have a few sprinkles to the south of Chincoteague through Accomack County. These are very light. Most of this is not reaching the surface, but you can see we have the warm front now shifting to the northeast. The cold front's still back off to the west. That's going to come swinging through. As it does so, winds are going to be picking up. So we're in for a pleasant day on Delmarva. Temperatures are going to be once again in the mid to upper 40s to near 50. We keep it dry, but the breeziness is going to really kick in, and those winds are going to be gusting to near 30 miles an hour under mostly sunny skies as we go through the afternoons. Overall, another pleasant day ahead. We'll talk about some colder temperatures to round out the week, as well as the threat of a late weekend storm system. I'll have details on what that means coming up a little later on.
Thank you, Chris. And our top story this hour is that later this morning, we should get word out of Ocean City about a referendum taking place in the short-term rental controversy and the validation of signatures on a petition. It's the latest attempt by some property owners who are advocating for less restrictions on rentals like Airbnbs. Ocean City's Board of Supervisors of Elections is verifying the signatures of the petition calling for a referendum. We've talked to homeowners who depend on those rentals to help pay the bills, and they're telling us that they feel like their property rights are being squeezed out.
Voters want their own property rights, whether they intend to ever rent their home. They know that they're pretty much one accident away from needing some type of extra income in case of an emergency. And they don't want someone to come in and steal their property rights.
And here are the details on a proposed ordinance that puts limits on short-term rentals. First, it would cap short-term rental licenses in R1 and mobile home districts at 10% of all properties. It would allow up to 375 licenses, leaving about 55 new licenses available. Those existing licenses would remain valid, but new licenses, those would prioritize Ocean City residents with applications handled on a first-come, first-served basis. According to the town, the ordinance must pass by March 2nd to take effect for the 2026 rental season.
Also happening today, the public has the chance to give feedback on proposed changes to the DART bus system.
Coast TV News reporter Elisa Weber is live in Lewis. And Elisa, you're at the DART Park and Ride stop. Not only is the system used by people to get to work, but it's also frequently used in the summertime to avoid beach parking.
Good morning, Matt and Grace. DART has a total of 43 bus routes throughout Delaware, 6 of those right here in Sussex County. As you mentioned, DART is often used to go to stores as well as work, but it's also used to go to the beaches, which you can see here right on this sign, Dart to the Boardwalk. It's a popular stop in the summertime, and there are 2 seasonal beach buses. Today at the Rehoboth Beach Convention Center, the Delaware Transportation Corporation will hold a public hearing workshop to review proposed Dart service changes. DTC says scheduled adjustments are proposed to improve on-time performance, connections, and service reliability to many routes in Sussex County. This is also applied to the beach bus service, which runs from May to September. There are no routing changes proposed for Sussex, but according to the agenda, a new route would be established to operate between Massey's Landing and the Rehoboth Park and Ride via South Route 24. The new route would operate 7 days a week between the times of 8 a.m. and 9 p.m. And that meeting will take place later this afternoon from 2 to 4 o'clock. It will be a Q&A session along with a public comment section. Back to you.
Thank you, Elisa in Lewis. Sussex County plans show that Delaware State Police and the state's Office of Highway Safety are behind a massive plan to build an emergency vehicle operations training course, vehicle storage, and classrooms. One man we spoke with in Sussex County says that having this is a lot better than having more homes.
This is basically infrastructure that for training, if they're going to use it for 20 or 30 years, I mean, I have no issue with that.
And although 839 acres were listed, Delaware's Office of Highway Safety representative said that only 21 acres of this land will be used for the project. Sussex County Council approved the conditional use needed for this project. Plans right now do not show a timeline.
Happening today, Maryland Governor Wes Moore will deliver his State of the State address. According to Moore, safety is one focus of the speech as the state faces a budget deficit of over $1 billion. People wanting to tune in can watch it on several platforms, including Instagram, YouTube, and X, formerly Twitter. State of the State is scheduled for noon.
New this morning, decisions could be made today in Lewis at the 4th Street Preserve. According to the agenda for today's meeting, city leaders will discuss and could take action on a design for 3 bridges and possible rail concept. The group could also take action on a recommendation regarding a recent groundwater study. Funding requests set to be discussed at the gathering as well, and Lewis city leaders will gather at 2 p.m.
Yeah, also in Lewis today, several updates are expected regarding a water sanitation and DENREC study. According to the agenda for the Economic, Environmental, and Resiliency Commission meeting, 3 projects connected to the Lewis Water Resources Development Act are getting reviewed. City documents state that this could include upgrades to the pump station. The commission will hear a new geological study focused on wave action and impact on sand movement and beach changes. This meeting is taking place at 3 p.m. Authorities brought a man in for questioning in connection with the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Today's Show anchor Savannah Guthrie.
That after the FBI released newly recovered images of a person appearing to tamper with Guthrie's security camera. NBC's Alice Barr has the latest as the federal law enforcement says they've been working hard at this case.
Rapid developments this morning after the FBI released this disturbing video of a masked person wearing gloves and carrying a gun and a backpack outside Nancy Guthrie's home the night she went missing. 10 days into the investigation, the Pima County Sheriff's Office saying they detained someone for questioning in the case in a Tuesday traffic stop south of Tucson. Local and federal authorities also searched a property overnight in southern Arizona tied to the investigation that they say is ongoing, offering no more details there. The FBI director who visited the Tucson Command Center yesterday and shared this photo confirmed investigators are looking at persons of interest, but no one in law enforcement has said whether the person in for questioning is the same one in this doorbell camera video that the FBI had been working with private sector companies to recover.
And then go into their systems and actually excavate material that people would think would normally be deleted and no one would look for.
Today Show anchor Savannah Guthrie shared the video from her mother's doorbell camera, writing, "Someone out there recognizes this person. We believe she is still out there. Bring her home." The images reveal what appears to be facial hair around the person's mouth and what looks like distinctive eyebrows through the mask's eye holes. You can also see the person's clothing and body movements as they tampered with the camera, covering it with plants from the yard. The community on edge.
It's like a member of the family when I hear about Nancy Guthrie, and I sure hope they find her.
A prayer shared across the country. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
New this morning, election updates in Selbyville. Officials are expected to review candidate forms at the Board of Election meeting today. According to officials, this is ahead of an election that's set for March 7th. In preparation for that contest, leaders will review procedures also at today's meeting. Selbyville officials will gather in just a few hours at 10 a.m.
In Millsboro, officials there are continuing work on the town's comprehensive plan. The Comprehensive Development Plan Committee will discuss goals for the final document. That committee could also review next steps for the group. Their meeting is today at 2 p.m.
And we're just getting started here on this hour of CoastTV News today.
Coming up, Smith Island weather impacts, how lingering ice is creating issues in that area of the Chesapeake Bay.
Also, Delaware Sports Grant, the goal of a new funding in the first state.
Still ahead, Super Bowl betting. We got new results from sports books in Nevada and how they compare to last year. And First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobuono is in the Weather Center. Stronger winds are expected today, and you can see Chris is working on how intense they will be. We check in with Chris next.
Good Wednesday morning, Delmarva. We continue to thaw out here on the peninsula, but as we take a look back at what was a rare cold stretch on the peninsula, it was our coldest 17-day period since 2015 between January 24th through February 9th. We had an average mean temperature of 21.8 degrees, and it was our coldest first 9 days of February since 1996, and we had that stretch of days at or below freezing at 8. Now, on average, we average about 15 for the winter, and you can see the record 33 set back in the winter of 77 and 78. Right now, we're holding at 49 in Ocean City. We will see those temperatures fall a little here through the morning before we go back up into the mid to upper 40s through the afternoon to near 50 degrees. So the thaw continues. The winds are going to be picking up, gusting to near 30-35 miles an hour. I'll have the latest on a weekend storm threat coming up.
Thank you, Chris. And the Delaware Department of Health and Social Services is opening warming centers starting today through Friday, February 13th. Those will run from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. in Sussex County at the Shipley State Service Center, Adams State Service Center, and Laurel State Service Center. In Kent County at the Williams State Service Center and Smyrna State Service Center. And in Newcastle County at the Canby Park Office, Claymont State Service Center, and Churchman's Corporate Center.
Flu, RSV, and COVID rates are falling according to Tidal Health, and because of that trend, they are lifting their mask requirements today. However, Tidal Health officials are asking people to continue awareness with disease transmission, to not visit patients while feeling sick, wash your hands, and cover your cough. Tidal Health says they will continue to monitor those respiratory virus rates.
In your consumer news, McDonald's announcing it's sold out of the kit that contains 1 ounce of caviar. We told you about this last week, the special item. It was a free giveaway for Valentine's Day, and on Tuesday, people could go online to order their kit. It's meant to pair with what else than chicken nuggets. Pairing caviar with McNuggets became a bit of a thing on social media in recent years. And Matt, were you one of the lucky winners who got to buy it?
And now that they're out, this kind of ruins my plans for the weekend. Seattle Seahawks dominated Super Bowl 60 on Sunday, but Nevada sportsbooks didn't have nearly as strong of a showing. The Nevada Gaming Control Board says $133.8 million was wagered on the game statewide. That's the lowest Super Bowl betting handle in Nevada since 2016, and because of the lighter betting, books took in just under $9.9 million. That's the third lowest Super Bowl win total in the past decade.
Well, we have seasonable temperatures, and the fall continues here on Delmarva as the winds are going to be picking up. We do turn colder by the end of the week, and then we talk about a weekend storm potential. I'll have the latest on that when CoastTV News Today continues.
Time is 5:18, and you are looking live at the bright lights at Salisbury. That's in the university area there in the middle of your screen. And Chris, walking out the door this morning, it had a spring-like feel to it. I was loving it.
Yeah, a little balmy, right? We had that warm front pushed through the area late last night in the wee hours of the morning, and that's brought in some pretty mild temperatures this morning. 49 degrees in Ocean City. You can see we're running 24 degrees warmer in Ocean City than where we were just 24 hours ago, 20 in Salisbury. So quite a temperature contrast. A little cooler in northern Sussex through Kent County. 38 in Harrington. We're at 39 in Milton, but we're holding 48 in Ocean Pines. Winds are relatively calm for the most part. We're seeing that wind flow now out of the northwest thanks to a cold front that's going to be pushing through. Now we do have small craft advisories up for the Chesapeake Bay as well as the Atlantic through 6 o'clock on Thursday. Now we have mostly cloudy skies across the southern portion of the peninsula, some clearing to the north, and we do have a few sprinkles pushing through portions of Accomack County, Northampton counties, and these are very light, and they'll be with us for at least the next hour or so. But you can see the cold front beginning to slice through the area, and you can see the temperature contrast. We're at the freezing mark in Philadelphia, but 58 in Norfolk, so that's a sign of that cooler air working in. But so what's going to happen is temperatures are going to dip a few degrees here over the next few hours, and then we're going to go right back up into the mid to upper 40s to near 50 through the afternoon as those winds continue out of the northwest. So we're looking at a high of 49 in Georgetown to 49 in Salisbury, and you can see the clouds kind of clearing out. We're called partly cloudy to mostly sunny through the afternoon. The winds are really going to begin to pick up through the afternoon as we fall back into the upper 20s through Thursday morning. So there's the wind gusts anywhere between about 30 to 35 miles an hour out of the northwest through the afternoon. It's going to stay rather breezy through the evening and into our Thursday. So Thursday, definitely going to feel a lot more colder than today as temperatures are going to be falling back into the upper 30s. A bit more in the way of cloud cover for Thursday. We stay dry. Friday and Valentine's Day looking fantastic. We are a little chillier on Friday near 40, but by Valentine's Day, we're up to 50 degrees under mostly sunny skies. Then we watch a system developing to our west that's going to spread moisture into the area late Sunday. So most of Sunday is dry. This is 3 o'clock. You can see some rain beginning to creep into the eastern shore. As we go into Sunday night, we could be dealing with some heavier rain. In fact, some models trying to intensify the storm off the coast, pulling in some colder air, changing into some wet snow. That scenario, we would need a lot of things to come together for that scenario to take place. We are trending more on the rain side. In fact, some models even suppressing the storm more to our south. So we're going to continue to fine-tune the forecast here over the next few days. Keep that in mind. We're watching that system late Sunday through Monday. We do stay rather mild into next week. President's Day looking at 45 with morning rain or wet snow, and then we go to 50 degrees by Tuesday.
Thank you, Chris. 7 sports complexes across Delaware are sharing $10 million from the Delaware Tourism Office's Sports Tourism Capital Investment Fund. This is to grow sports tourism and attract out-of-state visitors. One of the biggest winners is DE Turf Complex. It's near Frederica. It's receiving over $4 million for a new field and a dome, with officials saying the money will have a big impact on the local economy beyond sports.
Only way we can do this is a fund like that, right? To do these, get a dome, add more fields, bring people in. And we want to continue to do that. We want to continue to be the leader in the country to operate sports facilities, and that brings economic impact.
And the funding is spread across all 3 counties. It includes projects such as upgrades to turf, courts, seating, parking, and more.
And up next on CoastTV News today, Smith Island weather impacts, how Maryland officials are hoping to alleviate electrical issues. CoastTV News today will be right back. On the bay side of Maryland, the weather has not been too kind to Smith Island recently. Ice chunks still surround the island in the Chesapeake Bay, and now high winds have snapped an electrical wire, keeping power from coming from the mainland. Officials say this happened over the weekend, so for the last couple of days, the island has been running off of generators. Luckily, islanders tell us that the generators are working well so far, but some are conserving energy just in case.
We conserve power pretty much. We have to have heat, but I keep house at about 65 degrees.
Cutting back your heat if possible, and, trying to do all your laundry sporadically and, just drawing water, whatever makes it necessary.
And fuel for the generators have been coming in on barges escorted by the icebreaker. Maryland DNR says that one came in on Monday, and they're hoping to send another one out on Thursday or Friday.
And it's a balmy start to our Wednesday in Ocean City with a temperature of 49 degrees. So that's going to help at least slowly melt some of this icing we are seeing along the waterways and along the inlets. Temperatures getting up, so we're going to drop a few degrees here over the next few hours, and then we're going to go back up into the mid to upper 40s near 50 under mostly sunny skies through Ocean City and Fenwick Island. Lewis, temperatures are going to hold in the mid to upper 40s through the afternoon here under mostly sunny skies. So overall, really nice day. The thing is, the winds are going to be picking up through the afternoon. Cambridge and Crisfield, those gusts near 30 to 35 miles an hour. Congratulations, Victor Irvin, Milford, Delaware, on winning an umbrella from CoastTV. We'll talk about some colder temperatures to round out the week and the threat of a weekend storm in our next half hour.
Thank you, Chris. After the break on CoastTV News Today, new information, the search continues, where the search for Nancy Guthrie stands after a person was questioned this week.
Also, OC petition consideration, how an expected review in the town could intensify the fight over short-term rentals.
Plus, DART details possible changes, how the agency is giving people a chance to learn more and provide feedback. CoastTV News Today continues after the break.
Now on CoastTV News.
Transit talks today the potential changes to DART's bus system and how Delawareans can have a voice in those discussions.
Plus, property owners petition. The effort in Ocean City to force a referendum on the town's short-term rental policy.
Also, Moore's Maryland message. Maryland's governor is set to list his priorities later today in the State of the State address.
We are all above the freezing mark this Wednesday morning as the thaw continues. A pleasant, breezy day awaits, and the latest on a late weekend storm threat.
This is CoastTV News Today.
February 11th, 2026. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Grace.
Good morning, Matt. I'm Grace Eckerly. Thank you for joining us today.
5:30 a.m. and some noticeable ice and snow melted yesterday. A lot less of it in those parking spaces on the side of the street.
That's some good news. Despite the muddy lawns everyone's facing, It was a little bit warmer today. My car read 48 degrees.
It's been a while for that one.
It almost felt balmy stepping out the door today.
It's such a noticeable difference than that teeth-chattering Arctic cold that we've experienced the last couple of days. And we do have to deal with some winds today. First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobono is in the Weather Center. He's working on those figures as well. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Matt and Grace. Yeah, good day to maybe wash that salt off your car, right? Taking a look into Salisbury. We had a warm front that pushed through the area late last night, and that has now kept temperatures up pretty nicely this morning. 46 degrees right now in Salisbury, and we're running about 20 degrees warmer there than where we were just 24 hours ago. So we're seeing quite a temperature contrast, a little chillier to the north. 38 Harrington, we're at 37 in Milton, 34 now in Lewis, 49 there in Ocean City, 48 in Ocean Pines. Now the winds are out of the northwest, and they are going to be picking up through the morning and afternoon as that cold front pushes through. So we have cloud cover across the southern portion of the peninsula. We do also have a few light showers pushing through Accomack and Northampton counties, very light in nature. But here's the cold front pushing through the area. So we've had some warm temperatures early this morning. We're going to drop a bit as far as the temperature is concerned here over the next few hours, and then we're going to go right back up into the upper 40s through the afternoon under mostly sunny skies. So the thaw continues. We are going to briefly turn cooler to round out the week, and then look at that all-important Valentine's Day forecast here in a little bit.
Thank you, Chris. And our top story this half hour, the public has had the chance to give feedback on proposed changes to the DART bus system.
And with a look at that, on those discussions for us and Coast TV's Elisa Weber, she's live in Lewis. DART is not only a system used by people to get to work, but it's also frequently used in the summer to avoid beach traffic and parking. We all know about that. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt and Grace. DART has 43 bus routes throughout Delaware, 6 of those right here in Sussex County. As you mentioned, Matt, a lot of people use a DART bus in the summertime to avoid parking at the beach. You can see it right here. You can dart right to the boardwalk. There are 2 seasonal beach buses. And today, the Delaware Transportation Corporation will hold a public meeting to discuss some of those changes to DART services. That meeting will take place at the Rehoboth Beach Convention Center. DTC says scheduled to adjustments are proposed to improve on-time performance, connections, and service reliability to many routes in Sussex County. This also applies to the beach bus service, which runs from May to September. There are no routing changes proposed for Sussex, but according to the agenda, a new route would be established to operate between Massey's Landing and the Rehoboth Park and Ride via South Route 24. The new route would operate 7 days a week between the times of 8 a.m. and 9 p.m. We spoke with someone who takes the DART bus usually 2 times a day, and here's what they had to say.
Unless you're going up Route 13 from Delmarva and then down Route 9 to the beaches, at least in Sussex County. And then if you're talking about transfers, those are impossible and they're always late. So I think the biggest improvement could be better routes.
And that meeting will take place this afternoon from 2 to 4 o'clock. It will be a question and answer session along with a public comment period. Back to you.
Thank you, Elisa and Lewis. Later this morning, we should get word out of Ocean City about a referendum taking place in the short-term rental controversy and the validation of signatures on a petition. It is the last attempt by some property owners who are advocating for less restrictions on rentals, such as Airbnbs. Ocean City's Board of Supervisors of Election is verifying the signatures of the petition, calling for a referendum. And we have talked to homeowners who depend on those rentals to help pay the bills. They're telling us that they feel like their property rights are being squeezed out.
Now, here are some details on a proposed ordinance that puts limits on short-term rentals. It would cap short-term rental licenses in R1 and mobile home districts at 10% of all properties. It would allow up to 375 licenses. That leaves about 55 new licenses available. Existing licenses would remain valid, but new licenses would prioritize Ocean City residents with applications handled on a first-come, first-served basis. According to the town, the ordinance must pass by March 2nd to take effect for the 2026 rental season.
New this morning, decisions could be made today at the Lewis 4th Street Preserve. And this is according to the agenda for today's meeting. City leaders will discuss and could take action on a design for 3 bridges and possible rail concept. The group could also take action on a recommendation regarding a recent groundwater study. Funding request is set to be discussed at the gathering as well. And Lewis City leaders will gather at 2 p.m.
Also today, Maryland Governor Wes Moore will deliver his State of the State address. According to Moore, safety is one focus of the speech as the state faces a budget deficit of over $1 billion. People wanting to tune in can watch on several platforms, including Instagram, YouTube, and X, formerly Twitter. State of the State is scheduled for noon.
New this morning, election updates in Selbyville. Officials are expected to review candidate forms at the Board of Election meeting today. And according to officials, this is ahead of the election set for March 7th. In preparation for that contest, leaders will review procedures also at today's meeting. Selbyville officials will gather in just a few hours at 10 a.m.
New overnight, a person has been released after being detained for questioning in the search for Nancy Guthrie. That was one of the many developments in the case Tuesday evening and actually into this morning as well.
Reed Binion now showing us where the investigation stands as Guthrie has now been missing for 11 days.
It's a very delicate process.
Former FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe weighing in on news that authorities detained a person for questioning in connection with the disappearance of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy.
So going to be very kind of low intensity rapport building. Eventually they're going to get to asking details.
The individual was detained during a traffic stop an hour's drive south of Tucson. A law enforcement official said the person has not been charged. Authorities executed a search warrant at a home and also searched a car. Both of those searches taking place in Rio Rico, Arizona, roughly 60 miles south of Tucson near the U.S.-Mexico border. Those developments happening just hours after the FBI released doorbell camera footage from outside Nancy Guthrie's front door taken the night she disappeared. The video showed a masked, armed person with a backpack. There was an uptick in calls to law enforcement after the release of the footage. It's not clear if the person who was detained is the same individual seen in the surveillance footage, but experts say the video is likely to come up during questioning.
Eventually they will confront him with images of that person on the porch.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
We are now taking a live look into Washington, D.C. on this Wednesday morning as the House of Representatives has failed to adopt a procedural rule that would temporarily prevent the chamber from overturning President Trump's tariffs. And this just in, the measure failed by a vote of 214 to 217 on the House floor Tuesday night. The language in the rule would have prevented the House from voting to overturn Trump's tariffs at least through the end of July. Without this in place, Democrats will be able to introduce measures to terminate the national emergencies Trump declared when he implemented those tariffs. Officials say that could happen as soon as this week.
And we have a lot more news to get to. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, keeping drains clean. Details of a program in Ocean City that's asking for community support.
Also, Henlope and Conference Hoops. We have the Tuesday night battle in the north for a late season push to the state tournament. Stay with us on Coast TV News today.
Camilla Mitchell exemplifies the true meaning of service, both to her country and to her family. As a retired military veteran, she answered the call to duty while simultaneously raising 3 daughters as a single mother, demonstrating extraordinary strength, resilience, and sacrifice. Her selfless spirit extends far beyond her uniform and her home, as she consistently puts the needs of others, even complete strangers, before her own. We are proud to honor Camilla Mitchell for her unwavering service and the countless lives she has touched with her generous heart.
Spicer Brothers and Coast TV are honoring military persons and first responders serving Delmarva. If you have a family member, friend, or community member that you would like to nominate for a Coast TV salute, go to coasttvsalutes.com.
Hope this Wednesday morning is treating you well. Delmarva taking a live look into a balmy Ocean City this morning. 48 degrees, trying to get some of that ice to melt there in the dock. It's quite a temperature gradient as a cold front pushes through the area. We're at 37 in Dover, 41 in Georgetown, and we're at 42 in Cambridge. We have partly to mostly cloudy skies across the peninsula. Some light showers pushing just to the south of Chickatee in through portions of Accomack County, and those are going to be swinging through here through the next hour. Temperatures are going to be, well, we're going to be on the seesaw here. 49 today. We're going to be back down into the 30s as we go into Thursday and Friday, and then back up to 50 degrees for Valentine's Day. You can get your latest forecast by calling our First Alert Weather phone. I'll have details on the threat of a weekend storm system late Sunday through Monday. I'll have more on that here in a few minutes.
Thank you, Chris. We're soaking up these warm temperatures today. New this morning, Ocean City asking for help to protect the bays and the ocean. The town's Adopt a Storm Drain program allows and invites people who live there, and as well as local businesses, to take responsibility for a nearby drain. According to officials, people would clean drains before and after rain. Items such as litter, grabbers, gloves, and trash bags are available to participants. Ocean City says people wanting to volunteer can call or email the town's environmental programs.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Good morning, Delmarva. Happy Hump Day. On Tuesday night in the Henlopen, things got a bit dicey up north. We head to Dover for Caesar Rodney in Smyrna. And it was Smyrna who got things going early on. That's Logan Thomas with the corner 3 to get things going. But then it's John Couch barreling down the lane with a tough Euro step layup for the Eagles, but then the Riders started to get in on the action. Denzel Jones goes through a couple defenders and finishes the tough lay. And then Dante Baynard wide open in the corner. Why not let it fly? Splash. Little shooter's touch there. But then Jayon Bazemore at the baseline. Little tough fadeaway jumper. Eagles led 37-19 going into the second half. But Caden Irizarry trying to bring the Riders back in it. That's a tough left-handed finish for 2. And then Farrell McNeil for the Eagles. He's open in the corner, and now he's going to let it fly and cashes the 3. But then even more Eagles. Maurice Kilgo, sidestep dribble. That's another 3. Everything was falling for Smyrna. Chase Sullivan gets around his defender and finishes with the reverse. And then how about some even more from the Eagles? Little defense into offense, the steal and the dunk. Everything was working for Smyrna in this one. They'd go on to win 85-56. That'll do it for sports. Have a great day, everyone.
And coming up tonight on DSN at 5:30, we have live women's college basketball when Salisbury University hosts Christopher Newport, and then you can catch the final score at 10:30 p.m. You can watch that Salisbury game on DSN Plus along with these exclusives. At 4 p.m., the Stephen Decatur girls basketball team visits Easton in Unified Hoops. Polytech is at Lake Forest, and at 6 p.m., Chincoteague hosts Salisbury Christian in boys basketball.
Entertainment news now. Here's David Daniel with today's Hollywood Minute.
You have unleashed the creature that we have feared for more than 3,000 years.
Nearly 30 years after they first struck box office gold together, Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz are reuniting for The Mummy 4. The pair starred in 1999's The Mummy and a 2001 sequel. A 2008 threequel did not feature Weisz. The new flick is due in theaters May 19, 2028.
It is my job to tell every single SAG-AFTRA member about the name change.
Kristen Bell is hosting the Actor Awards, and in this promo she does her best to explain that's the new name of the SAG Awards. The Guild's 32nd annual event streams live on Netflix March 1st at 8 p.m. Eastern.
You may remember 1967 is the Summer of Love in San Francisco, so a lot of musical things were going on.
And John Fogerty has been making memorable music ever since. The Songwriters Hall of Fame says the Creedence Clearwater Revival founder and solo artist is this year's recipient of its prestigious Johnny Mercer Award. Fogerty will be honored at a Songwriters Hall of Fame gala June 11th in New York. Down on the corner in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
If you're having a rough week, cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up now for free at coasttv.com/sign up to get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday.
Well, I know many of us are driving around with a salt-encrusted car. I know my car's red. It looks white right now. We got the green light as far as the car wash is concerned here at the Wax over the next few days. Plenty of sunshine expected. We will be a little bit chillier, but get that car looking all nice for your date there on Saturday night. We'll talk about a weekend storm threat after the break.
And the time's now 5:49 a.m. as we're taking a live look out into Ocean City. And Chris, many people across the coast waking up to some warmer temperatures today.
Yeah, we had a warm front push through. Now we have a cold front that's pushing through, so we have quite a temperature gradient. Some of us 40s and 50s, especially from Salisbury, Ocean City on southward. Right now we're at 46 degrees, and look at this. We're running a good 15 to 25 degrees warmer than where we were just 24 hours ago. As I mentioned, quite a temperature contrast. 36 Rehoboth, 48 in Ocean Pines, and we are at 45 in Delmar. Winds are now out of the northwest. Pretty calm, but they are going to be picking up, and that is why we have those small craft advisories in effect for the entire Delmarva Peninsula through the Bay and the Atlantic, and that runs through tomorrow night. Now we have dry conditions for most of the area. We have a little pesky line of showers, very light, pushing through just to the south of Assateague Island in the Chincoteague, down through Owencock, down through Cape Charles, and these are very light, going to be pushing through here over the next hour. And then there's the cold front beginning to push through the area. Those winds are going to be picking up in intensity. And look at the temperature contrast. Freezing in Philadelphia, but 58 in Norfolk, and that's a sign of that front pushing through. Now, temperatures. We actually saw temperatures in the 40s and 50s just a few hours ago. Now we're going to see the temperatures dip, and then we're going to go right back up through the afternoon under mostly sunny skies. Now, the winds are going to be picking up through the afternoon. We fall back into the upper 20s through early Thursday, and Thursday will be a brisk day. Now there's those wind gusts picking up to gusting to 31 in Georgetown through the afternoon, 27 in Selbyville. Can't rule out a 35-mile-an-hour gust or two. We stay rather breezy into the evening and into the overnight as well. Thursday, a brisk day, much colder. So we're going to be back into the upper 30s as far as our highs are concerned. A little more in the way of cloud cover, mostly cloudy skies. Beautiful Friday, near 40, and then even better by Valentine's Day. Look at that, 50 degrees under mostly sunny skies. Then our eyes point to a storm system that's going to be pushing in rain by late Sunday into Sunday evening. In fact, we could see some heavier rain. Some of the models try to redevelop a storm off the coast, pulling colder air down, and we see a brief period of some wet snow. That scenario, we would need a lot to come together. And so we're still kind of fine-tuning the forecast here as we go into late Sunday through Monday, and we stay rather mild into early next week as well. So no Arctic air to speak of Over the next 7 days, we see temperatures falling to 46 on Sunday with that late chance of rain. Again, we could end as some wet snow into Monday morning. Your President's Day 45 or up to 50 into Tuesday under partly cloudy skies. Matt.
Thank you, Chris. And you are now looking live at downtown Cortina, Italy. 6 hours ahead of us and half a world away. We're closing in on noon there as the 25th Olympic Winter Games continue. And now let's take a look at the medal count. U.S. has 2 gold so far, 3 silver, 2 bronze. That brings their total to 7 medals. Norway has 6 gold, 2 silver, 4 bronze. Their total is 12. That leads these Olympic Winter Games, and Italy has 2 gold, 2 silver, 7 bronze. Their total is at 11.
Tough competition. Well, it's day 8 of those Olympic Winter Games, and our coverage will continue all the way to the closing ceremonies on February 22nd, right here on Coast TV.
Yeah, I got a programming note for you. Due to the Winter Olympics from February 9th through the 20th, you can catch Jeopardy on our sister station, Fox 21, at its regular time, 7:30 p.m. It's the same show, it's the same time, it's just a different channel while the games are on.
And the time is now 5:53 a.m. Matt Pensick, it is time to check in with our coastal pets of the day.
Yeah, we got 2 of them, Grace, on your screen right now. We have Lady Lexi and her son Maximus.
Oh,
and as you can
my
see, these
goodness.
dogs enjoy people watching. They also keep up with that neighborhood drama. I know about that. The window watchers were submitted to us by Gina in Millsboro.
Well, Lexi's got some good genes that she passed on to Maximus. A good-looking family right there. We want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. You can send us photos. Tell us what makes them so special to you if you take a look at your screen now.
Scan that QR code at the top center to submit your friends to Coast TV News, and then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature. And as we bring back First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobono, Grace and Chris, I've noticed there's been a lot more snow and ice that have melted over the past 24 hours.
And that's good news, right?
I like it.
Yeah, I know you do, Matt. Anytime you can get those temperatures to say above the freezing mark, even at night, that's a sign that we're going to see some pretty good melting across the area, and it's a sign of some balmy conditions. Look at the temperature contrast. We're at 38 Lewis, 45 Snow Hill, 49 in Wallops Island. So temperatures are in the 30s, 40s, and 50s this morning across the Delmarva Peninsula. We'll drop a few more degrees here over the next few hours, then go right back up into the mid to upper 40s through the afternoon. Some areas right near 50 degrees this afternoon as well. We have the cold front pushing through, so we are going to be cooler to round out the week. The winds pick up today as well, gusting to near 30, 35 miles an hour. A beautiful end of the week, still a bit on the cool side Friday, 39, but looking very nice for Valentine's Day, 50 degrees, and then watching a storm system late Sunday through Monday that could bring rain to the area, some wind as well, maybe ending as some wet snow. Still some uncertainty with that, but boy, look at those temperatures by the middle of next week, Matt. We stored in near 60 degrees by Wednesday and Thursday.
Oh, you are singing my song, Chris Mastrobono. Coming up in our next hour, short-term showdown, the action taking place later today in Ocean City that could result in a referendum on that controversial issue. That and more when we continue with Coast TV News Today.